Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and today I'm playing with my September Counterfeit Kit Challenge and the sketch from September. And I did record this in September, but I didn't get to editing or any of it till now because it has been life. So I've got one from September up today. So I'm going to do these 4 pictures of my oldest meeting my youngest while we were still in hospital. And so all of this stuff is again from my September kit, which has been put away a long time ago, but yeah, it is what it is. So I started out thinking that I'm going to use a stencil and some of my Distress Oxide inks, and I get it all done, and I don't really like it. I do leave this in for you because it doesn't always work out the way you want it to do. So this is what I was thinking. I'll use these papers at some other point, unless I covered them up. I don't remember. I think I grabbed new paper when I changed my mind. But I just used the inks and away we went. And it would have been pretty and it would have been fine. It just, with the layering, it wasn't setting the way I wanted it to. And so, it was what it was. So I'm going to do this for both pages, because this will be a double page because I am stretching that sketch. And that was from a scrapbookfriends.com in Australia. So, and I do make sure that I turn and flip this so it makes it fit better. So it's not weird for how it ties together, and the paper's fine. It really it would have just worked fine. I don't know. It was not what I was envisioning. So this is what I've got, and it's cute. And then I pulled this piece was in my September kit, and it was a piece of scrap. I used it on something else. And so I'm just gonna cut a few pieces. So there'll be a bottom piece that'll be the same, and then there'll be this top piece. I think one of them's 1/4 of an inch and one of them is just a little bit bigger because, oh well. And then I use this piece of paper from Echo Park. It is one that Tracy Reed has designed, and I really love these cameras with the bees. This is from A New Day, and this is going to go at the top. And there. And I think one of the problems I had is the 2 pinks aren't so great together. So had I used the lighter pink that I have for my Distressed Oxide, I think it probably would have worked better, but I did not. And then I'm going to sit with this for a second as I cut my photos all down to 4x4, because that's what's going to work. I have this card that was in my kit, and I'm going to stretch it across like this, so that the left side is very similar to what the sketch is, and the right side is a mirror of that. And so I like this blue piece of paper, but it's not vibing with the stuff on the back. And I thought, well, I think I have another page of this around, but that's too much. So I'm like, nope, too much. So I went and found this blue paper, and it is a pattern on the back, but this just has a little bit of texture, almost like, I don't know, they're almost the two same colors, but there is just the tiniest bit of texture there for the way that paper is, and I like this a whole lot better. It ties the colors in just so much better. So I'm going to go right onto this paper and not salvage any of it. If I wanted to, I could have cut the strips off and pieced it together on white cardstock, but I've had that paper for a while and I love it, but it's getting used up. I save enough paper. I got almost everything, but when it's just covering up this bit, I don't usually worry about it. So then I decided the bigger one needs to go at the bottom and the smaller one at the top. And I wasn't sure it was going to make that much of a difference, but it totally did to me. So you may not see the difference, but it mattered to me. So, and then I did have to in September. September was a month. Did have to take a break for a few days from my craft room. So I get it all set up and some of it laid out, and then I have to go deal with family stuff. And then, so it'll stay just sitting on my desk until I'm ready. So you might see that I've changed my shirt because I'm not in the same thing a few days later. But it was a cute card. It has some hearts on it. These cards also were in it, but the July is not going to work. And that's when my baby was born. July and October. And then I'm going to use some more of this, but I'm going to rotate it. And I really like this blue plaid. So I am going to use that as a base underneath my photos. I think that's super cute. I don't want it to go all the way to the end because it doesn't need to. So I'm just thinking about what I want to do, and I'm just going to fold this in half and use a bit on both sides, and it's not going to run the whole length of the photos, but that's okay. And that card's going to go there. This one I'm still playing around with the hearts, but it's not going to stay there. And then I'm going to go through some of the stuff that I have for September. And so this blue hexagon tray is one of 8 that I have. And they are meant for puzzles, but I love them because they stack and I can dump embellishment packs out in them, and I can put stuff that I'm using and I can come back to it later. So I use the Simple Stories paper, and it has the cutter parts on the one side and this really pretty flower with this blue, this greeny blue, I guess, on it, and I really like that. And then I'm going to pull out some of these from this Hip Kit Club. So some of the navy leaves I'm pulling out. There's some tags I'm pulling out. I'm not going to use the tags. The flowers I'm pulling out that are family, which I think all goes pretty well. And then I had the heart fall out of that Minte, and I actually use it, but did I know that I fell out of that? Nope, not until I got going on it. Just taking another look. That tag's going to come out of this Hip Kit Club package, along with that happy, because it works. And then the rest of that's going to go away, and just do a little bit more look to see what else I've got going on, and just get this kind of laid out here. So this is where I fold this in half and decide I really don't need both strips that I cut. So it's going to go on a little bit lower. And I am just going to line it up. Those two pieces are lined up anyway, so I'm just going to line it up at the center, and away we go. And then get these two photos on and start working my way at getting some of this on before I leave it for a few days. And then almost 2 months before I get to edit it. It's what it is. Life comes first before my scrapbooking, as much as I want scrapbooking sometimes to come first. So I am planning on overlapping some of these. I want that pink in a couple more spots. The Simple Stories paper I want in a couple spots. This wreath I thought about for a minute. It's not going to stay. That postcard's cute. That gray one would have worked. It doesn't stay. Those chipboard green pieces I've decided are too green now that I've got a lot of blue going on. And not so bad. Thinking about it. And this is where I come back And I'm in my hoodie. And so starting to make some decisions. I just want to get this done now. This layout took me about an hour and 20 to do, even with the coming back and needing to get sorted on what I was doing and what the sketch looked like. So there I'm looking at, what does the sketch look like? Okay, now I know what I'm doing. Let's just get it done. So I'm going to use my T-square to get the pink on straight because it's going to get hid between the other layers. And I just was making sure I was putting it on so the lines lined up because they're not all the same distance. And yeah. And then that Simple Stories paper is going to go on. And I had to fight with my tape roller quite a bit. It like gummed up and was doing weird things while I was doing this too. So that made it a little bit longer to do my layout. It was things. I cut a little bit of this one off so that it again can go on the top and the bottom. And I am going to overlap it right and left. So it does give that continuous look to it when it goes into the album. And then fighting with my tape runner again, which I cut most of that out. Yeah. And then I decided to go in behind that Simple Stories piece because why not? It's cute. And that camera, so you still see the camera, you still get the gist that it's a whole piece. But it's all good. And then cutting it and putting it on the bottom makes this look like it's a much longer piece of paper, even though it was just a tiny piece of paper. Well, a tiny card actually. And then sneak that apart. There we go. I didn't have enough glue on it. And that works out okay. And then get some more on this side done. So I'm going to cut this Hip Kit Club tag in half. I'm going to get my photos on first so that I know what I'm looking at, so that things can not be totally in line where the lines of the pictures are, because I do want those layers to be layered. And then getting these down. And then this blue floral I thought was pretty cute. And this postcard. The postcard's from the same set that the one on the right side is with the birds. So I thought it matched pretty well and mimics on either side. I haven't put any journaling there. I might. I don't know if it really needs it. Like, there'll be others to go along with this too. This is just my youngest and my oldest meeting. So, yeah, it is what it is. I've already done another layout with at least one of these pictures on it. So, I think I called it Meeting My Sister, and it's actually for my oldest. This one I think is for my youngest book. And I do think I have more of these too. Lots of newborn pictures, as that usually goes, right? So that newborn is 14 now, and that little toddler, preschooler, is now 18. So how does time fly? And I obviously do not scrapbook in chronological order. They will go into their albums in chronological order, but I do not scrapbook in chronological order. I do what I feel like I want to do with the papers that I have, and it's not a big deal to me. I just want to play with what I have, and so it works out. Actually, on the weekend, I did a use your own product workshop and class. It was all Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we used some of the Simple Stories Christmas line. And I got a picture of my oldest when she was a newborn at her first Christmas on some of the Christmas stuff that we used. We used the, I believe, Simple Stories Vintage Collection, which is a super cute. And I bought a whole bunch more of it because, yeah. But I think I'll share those layouts here maybe at the end of the month. But I got 25 layouts done, and 2 of those were double layouts. So over the weekend, which is incredible. And most of it was Girl Guides, because Girl Guides is a little harder to show on screen. And then on Friday was for five layouts with the Christmas collection that Jennifer put together, so that we did mostly what she wanted us to do, and I change things up a little bit sometimes, but it's just a good way to spend a Friday night and a Saturday and a Sunday. And then these Simple Stories bits and pieces were from the Use It Up I did with the workshop on the Friday night in March. So I do get quite a bit out of them, and lots of leftovers too. So, and then rearranging that happy so it's straight, because it was not, and I thought I could live with it, and I just decided I wasn't going to. And getting there, almost done. So I have a couple little hearts and bits, so that chipboard one is not going to go there, but this blue one is almost the same color as background paper, so I thought it worked well with that happy. Almost looks like it's punched out of that pink, even though it's not. And then these leaves are going to frame our family, and I thought that was pretty cute. And that beautiful is going to go right underneath that one picture, just to frame it nicely, because it just nestles perfectly there. So, and then some of these sticker brad bits from that Simple Stories, I think it's Flower Emporium is what it's called, on here. And then some black twine in that tag. So I have Hip Kit Club, Simple Stories, Echo Park. The pink piece of paper is Studio Calico. I think the postcard and the birds is Casey and Company, sorry. These little jewels are close to my heart. Look at all the different manufacturers I got on there. And then that camera card came from a paper pack. It's a cut apart. And I want to say, I don't know what it is. I can't remember right now. But not any of the other companies that I just said. So lots of different things on there. That heart card, I think, is Studio Calico. So, yay me mixing collections. I really don't have a problem mixing collections, but I know lots of people do. It doesn't bother me. As long as the color tones are right, it really doesn't. But when I was at the weekend doing our thing, it felt like some of that was a little bit differently. So, or a lot of people felt a little bit differently and only could scrap pictures using the same collections because then they were positive they'd match. Like, it doesn't bother me. So I'm just sprinkling these tiny little jewels around. They are so sweet. And I've had them forever, and I don't think I've used hardly any of them. So I am going to put them in with my enamel dots, so maybe I use them a little bit more, which I say that, and I did this in September, and now it's November, and I haven't used any more of them. So maybe on the next couple layouts that I do, I'll put them on. So here are some close-ups from this one from September. How many times can I say that? I don't know. And that's a wrap on this page. Other close-ups will be to follow. And I'm going from right to left. Don't ask me why, just 'cause. If you loved how this came together today, I would love to have you here. So please hit that subscribe button and share some crafty love in the comments below. I always respond to them. There will be blogs, playlists, and links always in the description box below as well. And here are the two pages together. So pretty, really happy with it. So until next time, stay inspired, scrappy, and full of ideas. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good day. There's a couple other things here you might want to look at too. Appreciate you.